So initially, when you start writing down about your introduction, you will add what? Name of the graph. If it's about line graph, suppose, let me show you name different graphs here. Now, can you see here? It's an example. The graph below shows. Can you see the graph? So, did they provide us name of the graph? No, we don't have name of the graph. So, what we will do now, what do you call to this graph? Name of the graph is line graph. So, how we can take a start? Instead of the graph, we will start writing down the line graph. The line graph. So, number one, a name of the graph. You will add in your introduction name of the graph. That's the first step you will do, clear? Second, IELTS, they always give you a word. Can you see here? And they provide you with the verb of shows. They will provide you with the verb of shows. They always clear, write down shows. You need to change. Second step, what you will do? Change the verb. Use a synonym for the word. Change the verb. Okay? Shows. So can you give me more verbs instead of shows? Illustrates. Okay, let me write them. Please. Second, what you will do? Change verb. Excellent. Verb. They provide you with shows. So what we can do now? Instead of shows, we can write illustrates. Spelling, tell me spelling. I-L-L-G-R-A-T-E-S. Illustrates. But they always give you in simple present tense. Illustrates, shows. We need to write down same in simple present tense. The line graph, now they say the graph below shows. How we can write? The line graph illustrates. So how many graphs do we have? Only one. So with the verb we need to add S or ES. What if they provide you with more than one graph? Like multiple graph you can expect. Clear? Then we don't add any S or ES because according to simple present tense rule. Like for example, they provide you two pie charts. So the pie chart, clear? Pie chart one shows or illustrates, indicates, describes, gives, demonstrates, depicts. There are many verbs. Clear? I will share you the verbs. So you can use with them. But if there are more than one graph, like for example the pie charts, more than one chart. So what we can say? The pie charts illustrate. Don't say the pie charts illustrates. That's wrong. So number one, change name. Number second thing, change word. Clear? Synonym. Use synonym for the same word. Excellent. Number third, what we can do? Third. What else we can do? Third. Yeah, what we can do, that's categories. 8 categories. Number third, 8 categories. Now, what are categories? Let's take example of this graph. We have got categories. Can you see how many categories are there? Look. Yeah, there are some of the categories. And like if you look at the graph, Claire, what you can get from the graph, first of all, you may have title. So can you see which one is the title? This is the title. Excellent. This is the title. Very good. And these three, we call them categories. This is my title, and what do we call them? We call them categories. In your question, the statement IELTS provides you, they say, shows the differences in weight exports over 3 different areas. In 3, can you see here? 3 different areas. So we won't use exactly those words, but we will add categories. What did they say? In 3 different areas. Different areas. What will I do? Instead of like adding or writing down exactly those things, I want to keep it a bit more specific. I will add names of those countries. instead of like writing down in 3 different areas, I will write down what the first one, N, and 3 different countries. I don't need to write down. I will write down, clear, exports over, clear, exports N, Australia, comma, Canada, and Europe community. So that's how I added my categories in my introduction. We added categories. So number 1, change, add name. Number 2, use synonym for the word shows.
Yes, sir.
The third one, if they provide you categories, so 8 categories. But one thing you need to keep in your mind, if the categories are 2 or max 3, 2 or 3, then you can add them. Write down in your introduction names of those categories. But if they are more than 3 categories, if the categories are more than 3, don't write down all the names, because the introduction seems quite unnatural then. Do you understand? Don't write down more than 3 categories. How many categories we can write? Either 2 or 3 categories, not more than 3 categories. If you add more than 3 categories, so your introduction seems unnatural, and examiner is not going to give you a good band for that. All right? What we can do? Number 1, change name. That's how like we change name. Number 2, word. Number 3, 8 categories. Clear? After this, what we can do? You can change reorder. You can reorder it. Reorder it. Or you can change, clear the words order. We can change the words order. For example, in your statement they provide you and city center. Clear? Suppose these are my words. You can reorder it. Clear? Like we can say, and the center. Very good. And the center of, clear, city. And center of the city. Clear? For example, if I want to say they have provided with the words Australian teenagers. Yeah, what we can say? Teenagers. Very good. Teenagers of Australia. Excellent. Teenagers of Australia. Change the words order. Clear? They will provide you the words, so you can just only change its order. You can write down in your own way. That's how we can do paraphrasing part. That's how. Next, number 5. Number 5, what we can do? Change the timeline. Timeline. Understand the timeline. Clear? If they provided you with a time, suppose the time they provide you from. Suppose if they write down from 2000 to, from is followed by what? 2005. That's how like the time is. Change the time. Change time. How we can change it? We can change from to between. Very good. Between 2000 and change to and. Excellent. In 2005. What if the statement, if they provide you with between and end, then change it to from and to. But if they have provided in the statement about between and, then change it to from and to. Is this clear?
Yes.
So how many things we can change now? 4, 5 things. Clear? Number 1, that's how what we call your paraphrasing part. That's quite easy. Clear? Let's take example of this part. The graph below shows the differences in clear wheat exports. Wheat exports over different areas. So how we can go with this one now? Can you see? And what are the years? We have got like from 1985 to 1990. Excellent. Can you see here? Well, if you can paraphrase it by your own, please. Can you paraphrase it by your own? Write it down. Just paraphrase it only. Till this point, okay? Till this point only. Paraphrase it. Add name of the graph. Then change the word. You can add categories. Reorder the words a bit. And then at the end, if there is time, so write down the time as well.